What's up, mouth breathers? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm on NBA 2K22 and I am going to have a team of Miles Bridges and a team of Brittney Griners duel it out for their freedom. Miles Bridges, a rapper and part-time NBA player, was recently charged with domestic violence and child abuse after assaulting his girlfriend, right before signing the biggest NBA contract of his life. If Miles is found guilty, he can face 11 years and 8 months in a California prison. He pleaded not guilty to the charges as if he was LeBron James steamrolling his way to the basket, taking a few players out in his path. His odds of not being incarcerated aren't looking good. It's not like they let standout athletes get away with serious crimes in this country. Kneeling in the blue corner is Brittney Smoke Weed Everyday Griner. Ironically, she also has a history of beating up girlfriends, but she only got a 7-game suspension for the incident. This time she was caught with cannabis oil in Moscow, Russia. She pleaded guilty to the charges, which could land her 10 years in a Russian prison. Of course, every blue-controlled media outlet wants her back because this drug smuggler is special. She boycotts the national anthem and can occasionally put a ball in a hoop. They are accusing Russia of using her as a bargaining tool to send back Russian prisoners being held in the US, but bargaining with WNBA stars like demanding money with Special Olympic hostages.
They called the White House. Hello? We have got 5 block. Hello?
So I'm going to let 2K be the judge in this case and let Faith and Ronnie decide which wife beater should be set free for our entertainment. So the Brittneys are on the Knicks and the Miles are on the Hornets. I put that roster into my GM mode that'll only have 12 teams in the league, and I'll make sure they meet in the finals, which will be a best of 3 game series. I decided to do some rebranding for my team, starting with Miles Bridges' squad. I searched up the word boxers and found a much more appropriate logo, but the jerseys could use some improvement. I made a jersey from scratch, which is identical to what he might be wearing in a few months from now. No numbers or names, just CDCR prisoner. For Griner's new team logo, I was looking for something that has to do with her drug charges. 2K has cracked down on most of the keywords, but I was able to find one fitting designed by some avid stoner named Supreme 7 God. These are the Smoke Champs. The logos and jerseys are beyond perfect, but I might as well rename both teams. So here we have the Moscow Smokers and the Woman Beaters. All-Star Weekend is here, and neither Miles or Brittney made the 3-point contest, but I rigged it for them evenly. They're not wearing their uniforms because they are technically players from the Jazz and Pacers with imported appearances and attributes. Brittney is the center in the WNBA and not much of a shooter, so my expectations for her were low, but one of them did slip into the second round with a score of 14. In the second round, Brittney scores 3 points on the right corner. She then goes on a cold streak and misses 17 3-pointers in a row, but she redeemed herself with 1 make in the other corner. She finished with 4 points in the final round. That's going to be a tough score to beat, but Miles is pretty good at beating women, so let's see if he can do it again.
Like less than a second, you have to put every miss right behind you. Forget about it.
And with 1 miss, it can be easy to do that, but miss 2 or 3 in a row, and it becomes...
Okay, well, maybe she'll have better luck in the dunk contest. That is what she's known for. 2 original Miles Bridges made it into the dunk contest, so I only had to import 2 stoners, and before I could even get past the first round, Xbox gave me a required update. It's almost like the universe is telling me to stop what I'm doing. After the update, I got back in, and while I was importing the players again, I had to stop and find the song that was playing. I never heard it before, but it had more censored parts than the Chinese internet on Tiananmen Square. 2K has no business putting this hard of a song in their game. It's a borderline instrumental. It's called Ya Mans by Scooty. You should go check it out after this video. It'll be linked on the end screen of this video and in the description. Trust me, you're going to want to run a marathon or somebody's pockets after listening to it. Back to the dunk contest of the century, and we have our inmates ready to go. Brittney from Detroit is up first. She does a basic 2-handed dunk and hangs on the rim. If you're like me, you're probably thinking that'll get at most a 5, but nope, she gets a 45, 9s across the board. And this is exactly what happens in real life when you have a televised dunk contest with a woman in it. They patronize her and overreact. Meanwhile, there will be guys 360 no-scoping, backflipping into a honey dip dunk, and no one cares because equality. Houston Brittney gets a switcheroo dunk her first try, which I thought was more impressive than the last one, but she gets a 33. Maybe she wasn't covering her Adam's apple, I don't know. Inmate 80079 does a 2-handed cradle dunk and gets a 36. Inmate 97233 does a between the legs dunk. He's a fan of Andrew Tate, so he goes right into push-ups and gets a 43. 3 points lower than Brittney's rim grazer. The leading scorer, Brittney, follows up with a basic right-hander, but her female privilege ran out. She got a 24, which brings her to a total score of 69. Houston Brittney needs a 37 to take the lead. She misses a basic reverse, but follows up with a pretty impressive 360 one-hander. She was given a score of 43, which puts her in first place, and the score to beat is now 76. 80079 needs 40 to tie, 41 to win, and I guess between the leg dunks are getting boring because that only gave him 30 points. points for a total of 66, which puts him in last place. 97233 only needs 34 points to win it, and he does yet another between the legs dunk. The judges must have liked that one better than the last one because he got a score of 40, which wins inmate 97233 the slam dunk contest. Miles Booty is off to a safe and tight start, winning the All-Star weekend, but what really matters here is the NBA Finals. At the end of the season, one of the Brittneys was awarded MVP for 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block per game. But we're in the finals and it's game time for these two teams. The Smokers have the home court advantage after going 76-6. I'm guessing Supreme 7 God dabbles with psychedelics from the looks of these jerseys, but this is the only man who was able to sneak a cannabis leaf into this game. Maybe him and Brittney should partner up the next time she's playing overseas. The Smokers get the first points of the game after one of the Griners catches a ball on the 420 logo and goes into the basket for a layup. Miles tries to retaliate by driving into the basket on the 6'9" Brittneys, and that gets speed up and he gets a taste of his own medicine. I've seen some people on the internet speculate if Brittney is really a man, but I think they're forgetting the fact that she would be a 6'9" black man with a 7'4" wingspan. Odds are she'd be packing some serious sausage. No way you could hide a hammer like that. Blunt Nowitzki puts up a tough shot and they are now up 4-0. Out of the timeout, the woman beaters get an alley-oop in traffic. The woman beaters are getting beaten up inside by the woman. That is a foul though, and the game is tied up at 4. The Grinders get an open lane. Are we gonna get our first dunk? Of course not. Just an awkward layup inside. The Bridges put their history of violence to work by double teaming every time the ball went inside and smacking these ladies around like they brought them a cold meal. And one of the inmates makes a tough move at the end of the first quarter, which puts them up for the first time 8-6. Miles might as well grab onto Brittney's pocket right now because they are getting penetrated down low. Oh, Miles, he's getting double teamed and stuffed already. But the inmates do take the lead again after they get an open three-pointer at the top of the key. Some of the Smokers seem to have a decreased reaction time and sense of awareness, which leads to an easy dunk. And the inmates find another open three-pointer, which puts them up for a game high of 6. And before the end of the first half, they get some of their best highlights in. Brittney with a post move and finish inside, and Miles Bridges catches an alley-oop with his head near the rim. The woman beaters have a 6-point lead going into the second half, and it might have something to do with them living up to their name in the paint. But the Grinders are coming back by their post moves on the outside, which leads to open layups. I love this little league leader stat because it's all Miles Bridges, Brittney Griner, and at the top of the board, the Kings Chimizi Metu. I don't know how to say his name. He plays for the Kings. I don't care. The Smokers get a tough layup inside, but these stoners are a little slow to get back on defense, so that was pointless. Brittney is starting to look like an NBA player. She got a layup past 2 defenders, which might be a WNBA record for all I know. And she also gets a backwards putback, which ties the game up at 20 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And they take the lead after Miles Bridges tries to take a charge. I don't know why he's doing that. He's already the clear leader for charges taken in the 23 season. Brittney Griner must be sobering up because they make another layup and they are now up 4 going into the fourth quarter. And to open up the fourth quarter, Miles Bridges dunked over one of the Brittney Griners. I'm pretty sure he tried to kick her while he was hanging on the rim, but that should be on the scouting report. Brittney misses a layup. The whole team of Miles Bridges is sitting in the paint, but Brittney gets the rebound and the putback. Miles Bridges finds Miles Bridges for a WNBA-style alley-oop. With under 3 minutes left, Miles gets a stop on defense and hits a contested three-pointer. He is playing like he's guilty. On the next possession, Brittney takes back the lead with a pretty goofy double-teamed shot. The Smokers have the ball with a minute left and a 1-point lead. They bomb a 3, but it's all part of the plan. Miles gets the rebound, dribbles it off her foot, and she gets another bucket, which puts them up 3. The inmates have one last opportunity to get back in this game, but they take a contested shot that is no good. The Brittneys make their free throws and win game 1. For game 2, the woman beaters will be at home, so I thought I'd adjust some of the settings for Miles Bridges, including contest shot, hard fouls, pass alley-oops, and I turn off all regular fouls. The goal is to make this game look like it's being played in a maximum security prison. Some of the Bridges look ready for their court date, and of course some of the other ones look like they're preparing for a riot. I attempted to make the court look like concrete. The outside is supposed to be brown, and you may notice some other things around the court. Quickly I realized that these new rules weren't helping the inmates. Instead, they were helping the Moscow Smokers. Apparently the women are out here embracing the contact, and Miles Bridges is shying away from it near the 3-point line. The inmates tried taking the lead at the end of the first quarter, but it actually looked like they were just trying to injure a few people. It looks like Miles went for an elbow to the throat, pinched her on the ass, and then threw a right hook at the back of her head. Brittney was consistently consistently taking on 2 Miles Bridges at once. It seemed like 3 was the magic number to be too much for her inside. Can't fault her for that. I've only seen a few women take on 3 men at once, and it is not a pretty sight. And Brittney just drops one of these Miles Bridges while he's attacking the basket. That might have been a flagrant in a regular game, but not in this. That's just a concussion to the back of the head, and then you need to get back on defense. I couldn't tell you why the Brittney Griners are insisting on starting an injured Brittney Griner while there's 8 more of them on the bench, but it doesn't matter. They are just dominating inside, double teamed on every possession, and they are still scoring. They are up 18-5 in the second half. One of the Brittney Griners has 6 points and 7 rebounds. Miles Bridges tried making a comeback, but for the most part, they were just getting dominated. They got an alley-oop while they were down 10, but it doesn't matter when Brittney Griner is playing like this. And I'm loving the dirty play from Brittney. This is just her natural self. I didn't touch anything, and she's just abusing this man. I went into the game while they were down 13 in the fourth. I got an alley-oop on the inbound, but I wasn't able to make much of a difference after this. I was getting violated out there. Maybe 2K secretly nerfed Miles Bridges, or Brittney is just an unstoppable force. I kept trying to meet her at the rim, but this lady has a nerve to cross over a dead body and pull up in the face of 2 defenders. I think it's safe to say out of these 2 players, Brittney Griner has earned her freedom more than Miles has. She won the series MVP, and you won't believe it, but also finals MVP. Miles, good luck making a comeback when you're 35. I heard Russia is looking for new talent, and by the time you're out, you might as well play in the female league. But that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.